Welcome into Anita on the Rail. That's right, a play on Anita on the Mark, because we're talking horse racing. And we're talking horse racing for the next 7 weeks. We've aligned with America's Best Racing, ABR. It's the one-stop shop. It's where you want to get the most knowledge, most information when it comes to horse racing. And we're really excited to be partnering with them and collaborating with them. Ryan Anderson from ABR is going to come on board and handicap a number of the races today. And we're with you for the next 7 weeks, because it starts this week, the Coaching Club American Oaks. We've got the Jim Dandy, the Whitney, the Oaks Invitational, the Sword Dancer, Alabama, Travers, you name it. We are going to be with you each and every week talking about the big races on Saturday. This is the one place that you want to make sure you watch, you subscribe to our videos, to our shows, to get you ready each and every Saturday to head to the track at Saratoga. Also, Mark DiLorenzo from GiddyUp Bets is going to be joining us to handicap as well. So really excited about that. Also, big shout out to our sponsors. One in particular that has 2 fantastic establishments right on Henry Street in Saratoga. One is Henry Street Tap Room. Whoever you talk to, they will tell you the best beers in town. Saratoga staple since 2012, a really cool establishment. And then also right next door at 86 Henry Street, they're right next to each other, is Kindred. Kindred is fantastic. Great wine, great cocktails, a little bit more high-end wood fire kitchen. And you walk in there and you feel like it's got this New York cool vibe to it. So 2 fantastic establishments that we're really excited to come on board and sponsor the show with us and for this season. And also the New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc., the official authorized membership organization of the thoroughbred breeding industry in New York State. And we're going to be talking about races each and every week that highlight New York bred horses. For more information, go to nytbreeders.org/membership, okay? So without further ado, let's dive into it. The big one, Saturday, post time, 5:38 p.m., the Coaching Club American Oaks. It's the 3-year-old fillies. Let's hear it for the ladies. A $500,000 purse, 1 1/8 mile. It's race number 10. Again, post time is at 5:38 p.m. And of course, our guests brought to you by both Henry Street Tap Room as well as Kindred. So let's welcome in Ryan Anderson from ABR. Ryan, welcome in. All right, joining us now on the rail is Ryan Anderson. You see him all over America's Best Racing. He's got his hands in a number of things for this horse racing season, of course, that kicked off last week and will take us through August. Ryan, welcome in to our first initial kind of Saratoga preview show for the season. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk Saratoga once a week. It's an excellent track. It's my second favorite of the summer, but I'm biased. I live in Southern California, so of course I love Del Mar at the top, but Saratoga is such a close second. I remember being out there with you for Belmont Stakes Week, and we got to see K-Cup win. And among some other exciting races, and yeah, it was a lot of fun out there. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Again, part owner with Final Furlong with K-Cup, and fingers crossed. At least I'm hoping that she will run in the test coming your way on August 2nd. So stay tuned for that. Only time will tell. We'll see. I think there's some other races that the ownership group and the trainer have her eyed on. So we'll see. We'll see. For me, I want it to be the test because I'm going to be in Saratoga that Saturday afternoon. So nothing would be more exciting to see her win again in person at Saratoga. But let's dive into Saturday's big race, right? And that's the Coaching Club American Oaks. Post time is at 5:38 p.m. 3-year-old fillies. Let's hear it for the ladies. The purse, $500,000. The distance is 1 1/8 mile. Again, it is race number 10. Post time is 5:38. Let's do this. I always like to walk through it. It's only a field of 6 horses, not too many. So let's spend some time. First and foremost, coming out of the 1 is Immersive. Right now at plus 160, an undefeated champion 2-year-old filly in 2024, but at a 7th month layoff. Talk about this horse and what's so special about her.
Yeah, obviously coming into that last race in the Monomoy Girl where she lost by a neck, she was the perfect 4 for 4 in her career. She came off a really nice Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies win out at Del Mar, where she pretty much blew the doors off of all the other 2-year-olds that year. But came back, with a respectable speed figure, but didn't really seem to take that step forward from 2 to 3 that you like to see. But is 8 to 5 on the morning line, and has every right to improve now. Second start to her 3-year-old season.
Coming out of the 2 is Sweet Seraphine. Won the 1 mile Wilton Stakes in just her 3rd start. But has yet to race this distance. Any concern for you there? What's so special about her?
Yeah, new distance, and I'm sure we'll circle back to talk about this filly a little bit later. But this one's very much on the upswing for Cherie DeVoe. This one came back to start her 3-year-old season after a debut attempt at Ellis. Came back, improved and won, and that was facing 3-year-old fillies and upwards. So she's already faced some older fillies and mares. This is for strictly 3-year-olds. Cherie DeVoe, not really known for winning off the layoff or off of a break, so to speak. So for her to come out and this filly was ready, that shows a lot. And then she placed her right back into stakes competition, and she won that race as well. She's won them in pretty close fashion, but she comes in here improving, and I think we're still kind of yet to see the best for her.
The 3 is Scottish Lassie. Finished 3rd in the Alcorn Stakes. Of course, as we know, that's a Grade 1, and her jockey is Rosario.
Yes, this is a very interesting horse. That speed figure last time definitely stands out, going along with the Grade 1 Frisette that she ran last fall at Belmont at Aqueduct. My only issue is the last race in the Acorn, that track at Saratoga, it had taken a lot of rain. The track profile changed very quickly. I'm not sure how... it couldn't be easy to make those speed figures because the track was so different race by race. I'm not sure how much weight I want to put into that. So this is a horse that's very interesting, but I might be looking in a different direction here.
Take Charge, My Lady. I love the name. Beat Immersive already. I think this horse could be pretty dangerous, sitting at plus 450, along with Scottish Lassie at plus 450 as well. What can you tell us about Take Charge, My Lady?
Yeah, last time out in the Monomoy Girl, beating Immersive, who was that perfect 4 for 4 filly we spoke about a little bit earlier. Brian Hernandez gave this filly a fantastic ride in there and really gave her filly, Take Charge, My Lady, or his filly, Take Charge, My Lady, every chance to win, and she ended up getting the job done. So that was a really perfect trip and a really great ride against a horse who I do think is a little bit better than her. But Take Charge, My Lady, if you look at the form lines, kind of been on one, off one every time she runs. So if you are one that follows that pattern, this is maybe looking like one of the down races. However, I'm not subscribing to that belief. I think this filly's just really kind of rounding into good form. This is one I want to use kind of underneath in my exotics.
And the last 2 really can set the pace here. The early speed, right, in this race. Drive Power sitting at 12 to 1. What do you like about her?
So it's not so much what I like about her, but what she will... she is a big key to this race, because if she goes towards the lead and she goes to the front, that's going to jeopardize Lucara, who's the number 6, who's your second choice, your tepid second choice on the morning line at 2 to 1, coming off of that Grade 1 Acorn win, where she had the lead by herself. Lucara is extremely dangerous. If she gets to the lead and she's not looking another horse in the eye, she's likely going to win that race. She just kind of gets brave on the front end, but it's up to Dry Powder to really take it to her. Lucara got the best of the post position, drawing outside of the other main speed. So if Lucara really does send with some intention with Dylan Davis on her back, I could certainly see Lucara kind of clearing off, but it would be up to Jose Lezcano and Chad Summers combo to push Dry Powder and push Lucara to the lead, and maybe try and force a little bit of pace into this race.
Yeah, listen, Lucara, she's already won on this track before, right?
Mm-hmm. She has, yeah. She won in the Grade 1 Acorn just a few weeks ago, and she won again previously last year, going 7 furlongs to break her maiden by a nice 8 lengths.
All right, so what I always like to say, Ryan, is take us to the window. Share with us exactly how are you betting this race on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, betting this race, this is going to be a fun one to bet. I'm going to lean towards the number 2, Sweet Seraphine, for Jose Ortiz, Cherie DeVoe. I think 8-1 is a very fair price. I think you're going to be able to get that price on this filly just because I know Immersive down on the rail is going to take a lot of money for those connections. Obviously, she's a very talented horse who's never finished worse than second with 4 wins from 5 starts. But as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Sweet Seraphine just seems to be getting better. She's bred to love this distance, so the distance is not really a concern, even though she hasn't really tried it before, or she hasn't tried it before. But being by Quality Road, out of a Bernardini mare, both of those are very much classic distance horses in terms of the breeding. That she should handle 2 turns absolutely no problem. She should get a fair bit of pace. And I know she's been a little bit farther out of it in these 1-turn miles that she's been running against, where she broke her maiden, and then again the Wilton Stakes. But going 2 turns, I think it's going to bring her into the race a little bit more. I project her sitting, 3rd or 4th early, maybe a couple lengths off of it. But as I mentioned, her entire key to this race is if Dry Powder goes to press the pace of Lucara and get some pace into this race, because if Lucara gets loose on the lead, she's a very, very tough filly to run down. I mentioned she gets brave and she gets really, tough to pass coming down the lane. But I'm going to try and take a shot against her with Sweet Seraphine. Cherie DeVoe certainly knows how to keep these good horses going well whenever they are.
And at 8-1, those are some pretty solid odds. Hopefully, those will be the odds at post time. Ryan, all right. Obviously, this is race number 10. There's a lot of other races that we will, of course, be wagering on Saturday. There's one in particular I want to focus in on because the New York Thoroughbred Breeders is a big sponsor of our show. The official authorized membership organization of the thoroughbred breeding industry in New York State. And we've got race number 3 happening. It's 5 1/2 furlongs. It's on turf. Post time is at 1:40. This is 3-year-olds and older bred in New York State. So we've got to talk about this race. This is a special one, especially since it's taking place in Saratoga Springs. With that being said, who's the horse that you have your eye on in race number 3?
Yeah, New York bred has an excellent breeding program. Their state bred races come up so tough every time I try and handicap them. It is a headache. It's one of the hardest kinds of races to go through and try and find the winner because, again, they're all very competitive. You really got to look towards the breeding. You have to look towards what horses are in, the right kind of form at the right time. And most importantly, this is Saratoga, and you got to look at those trainers, the owners, and see who really, is pointing to win this, to win here at Saratoga more than the others. And for me, that's the number 3, Not For Hire, trained by George Weaver, who's had an excellent start to the meet. 3 wins from 11 starters, 3 others in the money, but 21% win percentage with Jose Lascano aboard today. George Weaver excels at turf sprints. This one's going to be cutting back a half furlong. Has improved in his 2 starts since the layoff in the beginning to his 3-year-old season. He has a fresh gelding this time, so the ultimate equipment change, so to speak, coming in 3rd off the layoff, maybe gets him a little bit sharper. The cutback I like, and then when you look at the breeding, this gelding is by Not This Time. Not This Time is an excellent sire. So the way they managed to get this gelding, into the New York bred condition has come out of a lot of really live races. I mean, last time, Robbie, who this colt lost to, only finished second by about 3 lengths, but was clearly second best in there. I think 7-2 is a fair price. I don't know that I'd want to take too much shorter, so I want to watch the windows. But if this horse is getting bet down and is in that 9-5, maybe 2-1 range. In Saratoga, the money tells the story, so that would tell me that this horse is live, is ready to run, and is likely to fire a big shot.
So Not For Hire, race number 3. Again, post time is at 1:40 p.m. Again, some other races out there. If you can, tell me your top 2, your top 3 that you're eyeing, that maybe you're really in love with a horse. You're really in love with the way that race is going to pan out.
Yeah. Well, first we'll start with another New York bred race. It's going to race number 2. It's actually a maiden claiming race for $50,000 for those state bred New York horses. For the boys this time, I like the number 5 Haute Couture, trained by Chris Engelhart, ridden by Manny Franco. This Ridgeling's going to be stretching out to 2 turns for the first time. However, that last effort definitely inspired, has the sort of running line I like to see for a horse that's ready for a stretch out. You go from Eric Cancel to Manny Franco. Manny's one of the top riders out in Saratoga. Bit of a cold start to start his summer meet, but I do expect him to heat up a little bit. This one is by Tourist out of an English Channel mare, so should have no issue getting the distance. Chris Engelhardt can certainly succeed on turf. He excels, stretching out from sprints to routes. I think this one is poised on a big effort, and 8-1 on the morning line is certainly a price I'd like to take.
Give me one or two more, really briefly, the races and the horses you like.
Definitely. Going to race number 11, so right after the Coaching Club American Oaks is the Grade 2 Alfred G. Vanderbilt Stakes, and in my opinion, this should absolutely be a Grade 1. I don't know why it was downgraded. This is an absolutely stellar field. You have Grade 1 winners top to bottom. I land on the number 5, Bookham Dano, ridden by Paco Lopez, trained by Derek Ryan. This horse, for one, loves Saratoga. 2 wins, including last time out in the Grade 3 True North. Comes in here 3 for 3 at this distance. There's so much to like about this horse. Bookham Dano just runs his race every single time. He looks to sit a very perfect trip behind the pace. There is another interesting horse in here, but my win bet will be going on the number 5, Bookham Dano, without a doubt. The number 7 in that race, Baby Yoda, he can be a freak of nature when he runs at Saratoga. He will run numbers that just kind of stand out and are almost shocking to see. He ran a 102 in the True North here last year. And then previously in an allowance race at Saratoga, he ran a 114 Beyer speed figure. He loves this Saratoga dirt course. And he also drew really nicely to the outside. So he's a horse that if he has, another one of those races in the tank, he's coming off a really strong performance at Belmont at Aqueduct. So he could certainly fire a big shot here.
Love it. Love it. Ryan, before we let you go, we're going to leave Saratoga. We're going to go to Monmouth. Why? It's the 58th running of the Haskell Stakes, right? $1 million Grade 1 NY Bets Haskell Stakes. You win, you're in for the $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic. So in looking at some of the horses that are going to be strutting their stuff in this race, very familiar names, of course, from the Triple Crown run. Journalism, Burnham Square, Gosker, goal-oriented. Give me your pick in your play, how you're going to go to the window for the Haskell Stakes on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be it's not possible for me to get past Journalism. So Journalism is absolutely going to be the horse that I use on top. I'm going to play an exacta. Journalism over Burnham Square. I love Burnham Square on our Derby show. I'm still going to stay on his team. The Matt Wynn, Burnham Square's last race, he didn't really have much of a chance. That race was kind of a merry-go-round. There were 4 horses. All of them came out of the Derby. East Avenue just kind of led them wire to wire. I think he has every right to improve and really fire a good race. I think there is a fair amount of pace in here. He's certainly going to get more than he did last time. He should get a cleaner trip, unlike the trip he got in the Derby, where he kind of had to check out of there, and then he re-rallied. Also, he was inside on Derby Day, which wasn't the place to be. So I want to give Burnham Square one more opportunity here to finish second, because, again, Journalism is just a monster. That horse has danced every dance. I guess someone could try and make the argument that maybe that Triple Crown season took a lot out of him, and maybe he could, bounce or regress a little bit. I just don't think that's the case. Trainer Mike McCarthy, I know him well out here on the West Coast. He's great with the way he campaigns horses. He's not going to do anything unless the horse is happy, and everything that I've heard from him is Journalism is a happy horse when he's running, working out, and ready to race. So I expect another stellar performance out of Journalism, the one of the top 3-year-olds we have this year.
Kind of sounds like me. I'm never happier unless I'm out there playing pickleball. So I can totally understand why Journalism is the happiest when he's racing. Ryan, great stuff as always. Really do appreciate it. Once you let the folks know where they can find you, I know, again, you're out there on the West Coast. You're going to be contributing to not just America's Best Racing, but a number of establishments throughout the course of the next month and a half.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be a little bit of everywhere. You'll catch me on America's Best Racing, I'm sure. I have my show on YouTube over at The Gallop Out, where I'll do a weekly show highlighting the week's best races. We just had a show with Matt Dinnerman, the announcer, over at Monmouth Park, and we went over the 5 graded stakes on their Saturday card from Monmouth, including, of course, the Grade 2 United Nations and the Grade 1 Haskell that we just spoke about, so be sure to check that out. You can catch me on ABR sometimes this summer. I'm going to pop in as often as I can when I make it work with my Del Mar schedule. And then Thursday and Friday, you can catch me on X and YouTube stream or on site if you happen to be at Del Mar, on the pre-show simulcast feed. I'll be on there with Kurt Hoover every Thursday and Friday of the summer meet at Del Mar, so very excited about that. I get to talk horses with an expert like Kurt at my favorite track, so it doesn't get much better than that. So I'll be doing that for now, and I'm sure you'll be able to catch me at more places by the end of summer.
Absolutely. Your dance card is full, and we love that you're going to be on with us throughout the remainder of the horse racing season as well, Ryan. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Anita. Good luck, everybody.
NYTB membership is your inside track to the ultimate New York thoroughbred racing experience. Free race day entrance to Belmont, Saratoga, Aqueduct, and Finger Lakes. A liaison with NYS Breeding and Development Fund. A voice in Albany working with legislators to help support the New York breeding and racing industries. Along with tons of member benefits, discounts on services and publications, educational programs, and so much more. Join today at nytbreeders.org/membership.
Big shout out to our sponsors. Let's do a deeper dive. 2 establishments in Saratoga that you have to visit while you're there. No denying that. One is Henry Street Tap Room. Again, some of the best beers in town, high-end comfort food, terrific staff, has been a staple since 2012 in Saratoga. Outdoor patio, they've got a great cheese list. Nothing like molt and mold, as I like to call it, with my beer and cheese. Also, every Tuesday, they've got dollar oysters, which is fantastic. And also, they have a shuffleboard tournament that they host each and every week. Now, that has my name written all over it. And then also, right next door on Henry Street is Kindred. Now, this is really a stellar wine list, right? Outstanding handcrafted cocktails, wood fire kitchen, small plates, warm and friendly service, a New York style ambiance. They've got an outdoor patio with these large, cool garage doors that open to the patio whenever the weather is terrific. And hopefully it will be terrific for the remainder of the season. Also, they have private and semi-private party rooms if you want to book, especially if you're heading to Saratoga with maybe a big group. You've rented a nice house. You're going to the track. After the track, you want to celebrate. No better place to celebrate than Kindred. That's for sure. Also, another sponsor, New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc., the official authorized membership organization of the thoroughbred breeding industry in New York State. There's no better time to breed in New York with the current strength of the New York bred program, including equal purses for New York breds, open company horses on the NYRA circuit, starting with New York bred 2-year-olds in 2026. For more information, including exclusive membership benefits and discounts for being an NYTB member, make sure you visit nytbreeders.org/membership. And again, we just heard from Ryan in regard to race number 3, who he likes. We've got Mark DiLorenzo, who's going to be joining us next to break it all down, as well a number of the races that will be happening on Saturday. All right, joining us now, Mark DiLorenzo from GiddyUp Bets. God, I love saying that. I really do.
Giddy up, Anita.
Giddy up, baby. Always great to have you on the program. How you do? You ready for Saturday?
Couldn't be more ready. Saratoga, CCA Oaks Day, Saturday, Haskell Day. One of my favorite weekends of the year.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Let's start with that coaching club, American Oaks. Again, post time 5:38. It's all about the ladies, baby. So let's dive into it. How are you playing it? What horses do you like?
CCA Oaks, I've had some success so far this spring with this division. I really like Good Cheer in the Oaks. She ended up winning. I really liked Lacara, who was in this race in the Acorn back on the day before Belmont Stakes Day. Lacara is number 6 in the CCA Oaks on Saturday. I really liked Lacara last time out in the Acorn because I felt that she was going to be able to get an easy lead, and she did. Number 3 in this race, Scottish Lassie, was kind of the other speed in the race in the Acorn last time out. And what I thought was going to happen happened. Is she kind of grabbed the horse, Irad Ortiz kind of grabbed the horse, let Lacara cross over, get loose. It had rained a race or two prior to the Acorn, leaving the track more speed favoring. Lacara got nice and comfortable, Top of the stretch, she kicked away and won the Grade 1 Acorn. She's going to be either your second choice or likely favorite behind the number 1 Immersive for Brad Cox, who was undefeated as a 2-year-old, won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Last time out, Immersive, I thought, ran a nice race. There were some small, it wasn't a perfect trip, but I didn't think it was. I thought it was a trip that when she was at 2-5 at her talent level that she probably should have won. She's going to likely get pace in this race. Number 5, Dry Powder for Chad Summers at 12-1 is a little bit interesting. I do think, though, that that's the horse that's going to really make this race either a race where the forward horses are going to win or one of the closers. Drawing the outside, drawing inside of Lecara, I feel that the pace is going to get lively enough to give everyone a fair chance. So at the price, I'm going to probably be betting a few bucks on number 2, Sweet Seraphine. Cherie DeVoe is the trainer. This horse was bred by Stonehaven Steadings. And now you see in your PPs or program, if you're looking at it, it's also owned by Stonehaven Steading. But then you'll also look and see that the horse was purchased in 2023 for $900,000. So usually when you see the same breeder and owner, you'll say, well, they didn't need to purchase it, but they put the horse in the sale and they loved the horse so much that they bought it back for $900,000.
That's a great
story. So that's like when the ears get, the light bulb above me, as you probably see right here, above my too high painting of the horses. All right, that's when above my Mets cap. That's when my first light went off. Horse ran in August, ran okay, came back the following year as a 3-year-old, and Cherie DeVoe said this horse was not ready to win on May 24th, and it still won. June 22nd, it wheeled back kind of quick in the Wilton. Sweet Seraphine, who's in this race, who I just mentioned, ran the best race, Dry Powder, who was in this race, number 5, ran the best race, being best of speed dueling. She closed from the clouds and just got up at the end. She's the one I feel that has more upside. I'm going to get 8-1. I feel like there's not going to be any issue with her getting 2 turns, going the 9 furlongs, which this race is. Today's the day to bet this horse at a price. Doing something she's never done before, where I feel Lecara was the horse to bet last time at 7-1 in the Acorn, where Take Charge Milady was probably the horse to bet last time at 5-1 in the Monomoy Girl when she beat Immersive. Immersive would probably be my second choice and horse that I would use in an exacta. Again, there were multiple subtle small trip issues that this horse had last time out. This was the undefeated horse as a 2-year-old. She's come back as a 3-year-old, only run once. I thought that she should have won that race, but again, that was off of the Breeders' Cup layoff, and maybe Brad Cox didn't have her fully cranked. She should get pace in here. She draws the rail. She's probably the favorite and probably the one to beat, but I don't know what the complete upside is of Sweet Seraphine yet, so I'm going to be putting my money there at anywhere. If I can get 7-8-1 on the morning line, that's where my money will be going.
8-1 right now. Wow, a lot of love for Sweet Seraphine heading into Saturday. I like it. We've got New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc., who are a big sponsor of our show, and could not be more thrilled about it. As you know, I have part ownership in K-Cup from the Final Furlong stable, who's New York bred as well. So, and by the way, for more information, nytbreeders.org/membership. But I know you're a really big fan of theirs, and we have to talk about race number 3 because that is a race that's
Saratoga.
Saturday. Yep, Saratoga.
No one's a bigger fan of the New York breds than I am.
I love it.
I'm a huge New York bred fan. They're my favorite races to bet on, my favorite horses to, if I'm going to take an ownership stake in and own. They run the best state bred program in the country by far. And they're horses that I'm very familiar with. And they had New York Bred Day the Wednesday before Belmont Stakes Day. They gave away these awesome hats, which I've been rocking all summer. So love to Naj and many others that work for the New York Breeding Association. And the New York bred kind of focus race that I have the most interest in on Saturday is race 3. It's a non-winners of one allowance race, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Number 5, Bosun, trainer Joe Sharp, 4-year-old colt, bought for $225,000, and that's a lot for a New York bred. I've been waiting for this horse to win and be in the right spot, and Saturday it will be the right spot. It should be 5-2, maybe 3-1. Last time out, it just sat a trip where it was just way too far back against a very talented wire-to-wire Chris Engelhart winner named Warlow, has come back and won already. The horse was just way too far back. Had to go wide, was widest at the top of the stretch. She had to rush up in the backstretch because she was too far back. She's getting Jose Ortiz back on Saturday. She's going to sit in the perfect forward rail position against the field, which is pretty good, but nothing of the nature of the winner from last time out. He, as a 4-year-old colt, will be winning the third race on Saturday.
And last but not least, before we let you go, Mark, the 58th running of the Haskell Stakes away from Saratoga, but everybody at Saratoga, I'm sure they're going to be watching on all the big screens out there at the track, and that is the Haskell Stakes at Monmouth. Win, and you're in for the $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic, which we'll be covering here as well. But some very familiar names, especially if, of course, you follow the Triple Crown journalism, Burnham Square, Gosker, goal-oriented. Take us to the window. How are you playing the Haskell Stakes?
Yeah, the Haskell is always one of my favorite races, being from New Jersey. It has a soft spot in my heart. I love when they rock Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, when all the horses are coming on. It's such like a New Jersey thing to do. The Haskell always seems to, especially over the last 10, 15 years, the Haskell always seems to be the top flight 3-year-olds will make an appearance, or a top flight 3-year-old that maybe had some had some issues in the Triple Crown and completely skipped the Triple Crown, and then kind of points to the Haskell and then Travers. We don't really have one of those here. We saw Burnham Square run in the Derby. I saw the best that Gosker could do in the Preakness. If you remember back when you had me on, I made a huge bet on journalism to win the Preakness on top, and you know how I always say, like, I play every day, so I don't do a lot of boxing, but journalism on top, Gosker in second. It was an incredible race. Journalism kind of pushed his way through and got up there late. I don't see journalism losing the Haskell. He's going to be a short price, but as you like to know what I like to say, I like to press, print, win. So I'll be using journalism on top and an exacta. And underneath, we're going to move off of Gosker this time, and we're going to move to Burnham Square in second. Burnham Square ran a really nice race at Keeneland 3-back. In the Kentucky Derby, it sat a no-chance trip. Too much trouble. I just didn't think that was his type of spot. I didn't think he was at that level. Since then, the only thing he did was chase around East Avenue at Churchill Downs, who got loose on the lead, who is a Tier 1 type horse. When it is loose on the lead, Burnham Square is primed, ready to go. There is a lot of pace in this race, and Monmouth does tend to favor speed, but I'm pretty certain that the number 1, the number 3, the number 7, Bob Baffert drawing all the way on the outside, and number 8 will all be going towards the front, trying to sit their own trip. That's going to leave the door open for journalism to be tactical, get first jump on the field. It's going to leave for Burnham Square to sit 4 or 5 back, make a run at the end. Journalism get first jump. 2-4 cold exacta in the Haskell Saturday is how GiddyUp Bets will be playing it.
Love it. So 2 handicappers, Ryan Anderson from ABR, Mark DiLorenzo from GiddyUp Bets, both like Sweet Seraphine in the coaching club American Oaks on Saturday in Saratoga, and both like the exacta journalism followed by Burnham Square in the Haskell Stakes in Monmouth. I mean, how can they
not lose? Sometimes I'll hear her say that and I'll think, but we're on the right horses. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Fantastic. Great stuff as always, Mark. Love when you're on the program. Love the hat change. Big shout out, of course, to New York Thoroughbred Breeders.
The best.
Appreciate you, my friend. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Anita. Good luck to you. I hope to see you soon. Giddy up, live from Saratoga. Have a great summer.
All right, I want to thank Mark DiLorenzo from GiddyUp Bets. Make sure you check out his site. He's got such great information, and he does really well, especially eyes and ears on the ground there in Saratoga. Nothing better than that. As well as Ryan Anderson from ABR, America's Best Racing. We're thrilled to collaborate with them for the next few weeks, bringing you picks, plays, stories, all from Saratoga. We're really excited about it. By the way, let me give you my picks and my play, especially for Saturday's race, the Coaching Club American Oaks. I'm going to go with an exacta box. I was going to go with a 164, but I'll tell you what, after talking to Ryan and Mark, I'm like mid-show changing my pick. I believe I'm going to go with an exacta box with the 1, the 6, and I'm going to go with the 2. Both Mark and Ryan talked me into Sweet Seraphine. So that's how I'm going to play it. Love Immersive. They talked me into Sweet Seraphine and Lacara, how can you not, she's looking for her second straight victory at Saratoga. So that's how I'm playing it, an exacta box with the 1, the 2, and of course the 6. Again, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. We're really thrilled to have them on board, and that is Henry Street Tap Room as well as Kindred, both located right on Henry Street. The Tap Room, the best beer in town, so make sure you head out there and check them out. And Kindred, a more upscale, more of a stellar wine list, wood fire kitchen, cool patio, outside, inside. I mean, literally, both these establishments is what you want to visit and where you want to go when you're making your way up to Saratoga. That's for sure. And also, a big shout out to New York Thoroughbred Breeders, Inc. No better time to breed in New York with the current strength of New York bred programs. And make sure you check them out at nytbreeders.org/membership. So thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to ABR. Make sure you subscribe, watch. We're going to be with you each and every week, getting you ready for Saturday's big races. We'll see you next week.